You know how people say the wealthiest folks don't work for their money works for them? Well, today we're diving into the single most powerful force that makes that happen. It's a concept that can work for absolutely anyone, and it's called compound interest.
So, the big question we're tackling, straight from our source material, is this. What is compound interest, and how does it help in building wealth for investors? Honestly, answering this is the key to unlocking your own financial potential.
And look, this isn't just some random financial question. Getting the answer to this could be one of the most important things you ever learn about money. Why? Because it's the bedrock principle behind almost all long-term wealth. Yeah, it's that big of a deal.
In fact, this idea is so powerful, it's rumored that Albert Einstein himself called it the eighth wonder of the world. That's some pretty high praise, right? So, what is this financial superpower?
All right, so let's break down this so-called eighth wonder. At its core, the whole thing is actually beautifully simple. It all boils down to one idea: earning interest on your interest.
So what does that mean exactly? Well, compound interest is the interest you earn not just on your starting investment, what we call the principal, but also on all the interest that is already piled up over time.
Let me put it even more simply. It's the point where your money starts making its own money. And that, right there, is where the real magic starts to happen.
Now, this is what makes it all click. With simple interest, you only ever earn interest on your original pot of money. The growth is just a flat, straight line. But with compound interest, you earn interest on your original amount plus all the interest it's already generated. Your growth isn't a straight line anymore. It's a curve that gets steeper and steeper. That curve, that's where wealth is built.
The best way to picture it is like a small snowball at the top of a really, really long hill. At first, it's tiny, it's barely picking up any snow. But as it keeps rolling, it gets bigger. And because it's bigger, it picks up even more snow, faster and faster, until it's this unstoppable force.
Okay, so if compound interest is the engine that gets that snowball rolling, what's the fuel? What's the secret sauce that turns it into an avalanche? It's not some crazy high-risk strategy or a secret stock pick. Nope. It's the incredible, underrated power of time.
Let's see this in action with some real numbers. Imagine you start with a one-time investment of just 10,000 rupees, and let's say it earns a steady 10% every year. Okay, so after year one, you've earned 1,000 rupees. You now have 11,000. Simple enough. But here's the crucial bit. In year two, you earn 10% on the 11,000, not the original 10, so you make 1,100. Then in year three, you're earning interest on 12,100. You see what's happening? The amount you earn each year is actually getting bigger.
Right now, you might be thinking, okay, a few extra rupees? What's the big deal? But what happens if we let that snowball roll not for 3 years, but for 20?
And bam, this is where it gets wild. After 20 years, simple interest would have turned your 10,000 into 30,000. Hey, not bad. But compound interest, that same 10,000 becomes over 67,000. That's more than double the result. That right there is the power of the curve.
Wow. I mean, when you see a graph like that, it really drives the point home, doesn't it? But it also brings up a really important question. If the math is so powerful, what's the single most critical thing you need to make it work for you? Which brings us to our final and maybe most important takeaway.
So what is it? What's the secret ingredient that unlocks this incredible growth? Is it some complex trading algorithm, a hot stock tip from a guru? Nope, and here's the best part. It's not having a giant pile of money to start with. You absolutely do not need to be rich to get this going.
The single most valuable asset you have, the most powerful ingredient at your disposal, is just time. The more time you give your investments to grow, the more insane that compounding effect becomes. Someone who starts small at age 20 can easily end up with way more than someone who starts with a lot more at age 40.
So let's just quickly recap the big ideas here. 1, compound interest makes your money work for you. 2, the growth feels slow at first, but then it takes off like a rocket. And 3, the most important one, the earlier you start, the more powerful it all becomes. Just knowing this, as our source material points out, gives you such a solid foundation to start investing.
So that leaves us with one last thought. The secret to building wealth. It was never really a secret at all. It's just math and time working together. Now do you know how the eighth wonder of the world really works? The only question left is, what are you going to build with it?